Hey there, it's Brighthawk, and I'm delighted to open Storyteller's Connection, where we connect through the art of story. It's my pleasure to get to share this time with you, and I'm so grateful that you've chosen this time with me. Let's get to it. Well, hey there, welcome to Storyteller's Connection. I'm Brighthawk. I've been thinking since we are all living through quite an interesting time. How do we deal with change? I know each one of us can answer that for our own selves. And I know that when we are challenged, I know for me, I look around. I try to figure out what I'm supposed to learn. I ask myself a lot of questions about what is this moment trying to teach me. When I've looked at different stories, places, cultures that have dealt with intense change, where the whole culture was dealing with change all at the same time, just like we are all on this planet dealing with massive change, climate change, the live change that all of us have gone through with this pandemic. Change is definitely part of life, but the question is how do you do it in a good way? How do you surf those moments? Is it possible? Well, I know one thing for sure, that when we change driven from fear, it doesn't always go very well. But when we change, when we embrace change, when we seek the growth, the lesson, the learning, the wisdom, when we aspire, when we reach higher, that kind of change, even though it can be tinged with fear, it can take your breath away to aspire, to reach higher. Definitely. I know that when we change in a good way, it's because we're reaching for that higher vibration. Dare I call it love? How do we change in a good way? Well, I think it's when we change with love. Because when I think of the alternative, it always feels chaotic and scary. And how do we change in a good way? With love. That's my answer. Let me tell you a little story. When I arrived in South Africa, it was literally just a few months after Nelson Mandela had been released from 28 years of imprisonment. The whole country was changing, and nobody knew how the change was going to go, how things were going to evolve or devolve. Was it going to become a civil war? Was it going to be a peaceful transition? How would they handle it? And I think Nelson Mandela taught the whole world a lot of really powerful lessons. Working with Desmond Tutu, they created the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. So one thing I know for sure is that when we have an opportunity to grow, it begins by making sure that we tell the truth, doesn't it? Being authentic and being real. The other way that South Africa was able to emerge from apartheid was a wonderful philosophy, a word, a Zulu Xhosa word. That word is Ubuntu. Ubuntu. And it literally means we take care of each other. We take care of each other. 'Cause when I take care of you and you take care of me, we all win together. We all win together. Now, Ubuntu is definitely a philosophy in addition to just a word. It's a way that you feel the community takes care of each other. Here, let me tell you a little story. Once upon a time, a long time ago in Africa, there was a village, and there was an anthropologist visiting the village. Now, of course, nobody in the village had time for this anthropologist, except for the children. And so the anthropologist and the children, they spent a lot of time together. And one day, the anthropologist decided to challenge the children, give them a competition. See who could run the fastest. So first, the anthropologist went and got a great big basket, filled the basket with fruit, and put the basket of fruit at the center of the village at the foot of the tree. The center of the village at the foot of the tree. And then the anthropologist gathered up all the children, gathered them up a ways from the tree, and explained what a competition was and how it was going to work. The anthropologist said, now when I say go, you are going to run as fast as you can to that tree over there. And whoever gets there first, well, you can have all the fruit in the basket to yourself. All the fruit in the basket to yourself. Are you ready? Here we go. I said 1, 2, 3, go! Run! Now, these children did not actually take off running. What these children did was they gathered hands, and as a group, they ran to the tree. And when they got to the basket of fruit, they passed the basket of fruit around, and every child had a piece of fruit, juice dripping down their chin, happy as could be. But the anthropologist was quite confused. Who won? Went up to one of the children and said, now why did you do that? You could have had all the fruit in the basket to yourself. And the child said, Ubuntu, Ubuntu, we take care of each other. How could I be happy if either child on either side of me was unhappy, hungry, or sad? Ubuntu. We take care of each other. We take care of each other. 'Cause when I take care of you and you take care of me, we all win together. When I take care of you and you take care of me, we all win together. We all win together. And isn't that the point, my friends? Winning together, finding ways to celebrate the best of us and all the rest of us. The best of us and all the rest of us. I said Ubuntu, Ubuntu. We take care of each other. We take care of each other. You are who you are because of who we are together. You are who you are because of who we are together. Ubuntu, Ubuntu. We take care of each other. Ubuntu, Ubuntu. We take care of each other. Some people think this life is a race. Just relax, you'll find your place. Ubuntu, Ubuntu. We take care of each other. We take care of each other. We take care of each other. And when we do, I'm actually proud of who we are. When we take care of each other. Ubuntu, Ubuntu. We take care of each other. A story, a story. Let it come and let it go. Now I'll tell you my own personal experience of Ubuntu. I was traveling in the Kalahari Desert. Now, the Kalahari is in Botswana, southern Africa. It's actually in three countries, but primarily in Botswana. And our international group of 20 or so folks, we are traveling. Well, we want to be traveling. Traveling would mean progress, traveling would mean moving forward. And these trucks, they're not moving, they're sinking into the Kalahari sands, and we are not going anywhere. Oh, and by the way, we have no phones, no radios, no tracks, no tools, no way of digging ourselves out reasonably. So we do the unreasonable. We do the, well, what could we use? Well, we could use our dinner plates. So we used our dinner plates as shovels to dig out the trucks over and over and over again. And after 5 days of digging out trucks and trying to inch our way through the Kalahari Desert, our group had had it. We had decided we could move faster on foot than by these trucks. And so we put what we could carry on our back and we started to work in a direction known as the borehole, a well. And we figured if we could get to that spot, we could regroup. And so we started walking in the Kalahari Desert. And of course, the Kalahari, you don't go into the Kalahari in the summer. You go into the Kalahari in winter. Because even in winter, the daytime temperatures reach up into the 90s. And when the sun goes down, it can drop into the 30s. And our group, well, it was late afternoon when we started walking. And after a while, we noticed someone was moving towards us in the bush. And as we got closer and they got closer, we realized the Basarwa, the bush people. These women, they were traveling and they had babies on their backs, some of them. And some of them were pulling donkeys. And on the donkeys' backs was firewood. Because these women knew what was about to happen, and we were quite obviously not from around there. And so wordlessly, because we shared no common language, no common culture, they just started to build. And pretty soon, they had built a fire. And the sun was going down, and the fire was coming up. And we were gathered in a circle, grateful for the spirit of Ubuntu. Ubuntu. We take care of each other. Ubuntu. Ubuntu. We take care of each other. And once again, I noticed how, gosh, isn't it amazing how it's those who have the very least that give the very most. These women, they would have given you the shirt off their back, but they had no shirt. They just gave what they had. And in this evening cool, a warm fire was an incredible blessing. We take care of each other. We take care of each other. We take care of each other. How are you taking care of each other? Are you taking care of yourselves? I hope you are. It's good to remember to take care of each other. Ubuntu, Ubuntu. We take care of each other. Ubuntu. Perhaps it's a story you're familiar with. The reason I crafted this story is because I really wanted to honor the culture it comes from. Ubuntu comes from the Xhosa culture, South Africa. And I was hearing people throw the word around in shorthand about taking care of each other. That was what Ubuntu is all about, but not giving any greater context for the culture from which it came. And in this day and age, when we talk a fair bit about cultural appropriation, I think it's really important to make sure that we don't pass off wisdom from another culture as our own, that we honor and respect where we can learn from everyone. And so I took the time to create Ubuntu because I loved the backstory. I loved the simplicity of the backstory. And I thought the message about how we take care of each other was really important. So, in addition to honoring the African culture, I also wanted to honor the process of what it is to the gift of giving. I'm sure you can relate with the experience of wanting to help someone that you really love and you would do just about anything to relieve their suffering. This is when we can remember that giving is a gift, and there's a gift in the giving. It feels good to do something for someone else, to be able to help someone else out. When we were touring doing our Let's Dance programs at nursing homes, I often noticed the vulnerability of our elders when they needed to ask for help. And when I would tell the story about Ubuntu and we would sing the song, I would see the comfort and the relaxation, not only in the elders, but in their caregivers. Everyone nodded, yes, we take care of each other. And there's a gift in the giving and the receiving. That when we love each other, when we give freely, there's enormous payback in just giving. So I love the part about giving and receiving and taking care of each other. And the other thing that I absolutely adore is our ability to celebrate collaboration, celebrate cooperation. Honestly, in my life, the times when we were encouraged to compete, it didn't feel very good. It always felt like there's a winner and there's a loser. But when we collaborate, when we co create, when we conspire together, there's a sense of it's better and it's greater than the sum of all of our parts, and that the accomplishment we have together is something everyone shares in, and it's an incredible feeling. And finally, the other thing I love about the Ubuntu story is the spirit of cooperation, of collaboration, that we win together. And when I'm sure you found this to be true too, when it's all about competition, there's always winners and there's always losers. And it doesn't feel very good when other people feel bad, at least for me. So the concept of winning together, I think, is one that is worth celebrating and encouraging. That's why I told the story of Ubuntu. I love the message. I wanted to honor the culture and respect the wisdom from where it came from. And I wanted to be able to honor the gift of giving and how when we give freely from our hearts, everyone is lifted up. And isn't that what it's all about? That's why I do this. Storyteller's Connection is about lifting each other up. It's about helping each other tell a better story. Storyteller's Connection is about helping everyone tell a better story because we're all storytellers. So, if you're going to take the time to do it, you might as well do it the best way you can. I hope you tell your stories with purpose, with passion, and with presence. Thank you for listening to Storyteller's Connection. where we help each other tell better stories. Ubuntu, we take care of each other. Thanks for listening. This is Brighthawk. I look forward to joining you again next time. This is Brighthawk. I hope you've enjoyed Storyteller's Connection. Please make sure you like, and if you subscribe, you'll always know when we have a new episode out. And anytime you share with your friends, we're so deeply grateful.